Hello, welcome to this week's edition of In Retrospect. My name is Ricardo Evangelista, and every Friday I'm here looking at the events that dominated the news agenda. We focus on economics, geopolitics, and always keep a keen eye on how the markets react to everything. So let's look at what's been happening this week. On Monday, we woke up to news of a massive breakthrough in the quest to find a vaccine against COVID-19. It was announced that during the testing phase, 90% of the volunteers inoculated with this vaccine developed immunity against the coronavirus. These are amazingly good news, and they couldn't come at a better time. The second wave of the pandemic has engulfed the Northern Hemisphere, and several countries in Europe have now declared new lockdowns. These come with very high economic and human costs, and so the news that there is a vaccine and that it works represents a light at the end of the tunnel and a glimmer of hope for everybody who's been affected by this. So we can now look forward to a return to normality, hopefully by the second half of 2021. So really good news and a great way to start this week. The other big story this week is unfolding in the United States, where President Trump refuses to accept the results of last week's presidential election. Donald Trump and his allies claim there was fraud during the electoral process and refuses to concede defeat to Joe Biden. However, most media organizations have declared Joe Biden the winner, and he's been congratulated by many foreign heads of state. So most observers think that is a matter of when rather than if, until Joe Biden is formally sworn in as the 46th President of the United States. On Wednesday, we heard from Christine Lagarde, the President of the European Central Bank. She said the ECB is likely to adjust its asset purchase program and tilt it more towards the periphery. This came as really good news for the governments of the Eurozone, especially those in the south of Europe that in the past have had to borrow at very high costs. So very helpful from the European Central Bank here, ensuring that at a time when the damage inflicted by the pandemic requires these governments to keep borrowing, the ECB will be there to buy their debt at a reasonable cost. Very positive action there and encouraging words from Christine Lagarde. And how are the markets reacting to all of this? Interestingly, investors seem to have shrugged aside the shenanigans going on in Washington as President Trump continues to generate uncertainty by refusing to accept defeat at last week's election. The dominant narrative is the vaccine and the optimism it creates. It opens up the hope that next year there will be a return to normality, perhaps on the second half of the year, but there is now light at the end of the tunnel. And this is why the S&P 500 reached an all-time high in the immediate aftermath of the announcement. Finally, a word for the euro, and the euro benefited from the words of Christine Lagarde on Wednesday and gained ground in relation to the other major currencies. And this is all for today. I will be back next Friday for more views on current affairs and the markets. In the meantime, go to ActivTrades.com or ActivTrades.eu, depending on where you are, for more market analysis. And if you like this video, click the like button and tell your friends about it. Thank you very much for watching.